Ladies and gentlemen, listen to me carefully. Your breakthrough doesn't come from luck. It doesn't come from waiting. It doesn't come from wishing. It comes from one thing: obeying the process. See, everybody wants the glory, but few want the grind. Everybody wants the result, but most run from the repetition. You say you want change. You say you want transformation. You say you want to rise up, but then when the process shows up, when discipline calls your name, when consistency knocks at your door, you back down. And that's why so many people stay stuck. Not because they're not capable, not because they're not worthy, but because they refuse to honor the process that creates the result. The process isn't sexy. The process isn't glamorous. The process doesn't give you applause every night. The process is waking up early when your body says sleep. The process is showing up when no one is clapping. The process is eating clean when temptation screams in your face. The process is making the calls, writing the pages, lifting the weights, studying the craft, saying no to what doesn't serve you and yes to what shapes you. When you obey the process, you build trust with yourself. And once you trust yourself, nothing can stop you, because you'll know deep down you're a finisher, not just a starter. That's the difference between those who dream and those who deliver. You think champions became champions by accident. No, they obeyed the process. They repeated the fundamentals so many times they became second nature. They fell in love with the grind so much that success had no choice but to chase them down. Here's the truth. The process doesn't lie. The process always pays. You may not see it today. You may not see it tomorrow. But if you keep going, if you stay faithful, if you obey, the day will come when your results will reveal themselves so loudly that no one can deny them. But you can't cheat it. You can't rush it. You can't shortcut it. The process will test you. It will break you down. It will challenge you. But it will also build you into the person capable of carrying the success you desire. Without the process, the prize would crush you. With the process, you can hold it, own it, and multiply it. So stop questioning it. Stop resisting it. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Obey the process. Do the work. Trust the journey. And I promise your time will come. Consistency is the single most powerful force that separates those who achieve extraordinary results from those who merely dream about them. You can have talent, you can have intelligence, you can have opportunities, but without consistency, none of it matters. Consistency is the bridge between where you are today and where you want to be tomorrow. It is the secret ingredient that compounds every small action into monumental success. You see, most people believe that change happens overnight, that a single moment of inspiration or a sudden stroke of luck will transform their lives, but that is a lie. Real transformation is built day by day, step by step, decision by decision. It is the daily habits, the repeated actions, the small but unwavering choices that add up to unstoppable momentum. Imagine a person trying to learn a new skill. They start with excitement, full of energy and motivation. They practice for one day, maybe even a week, and then life gets in the way. They skip a day, then another, and soon they find themselves back where they started. That is the reality for most people. But the person who is consistent, who shows up every single day, even when they don't feel like it, who repeats the fundamentals over and over, who practices when no one is watching, that is the person who eventually masters the skill. Consistency turns struggle into strength, failure into learning, and small actions into monumental achievements. Consistency is not about perfection. It's not about doing everything flawlessly. It's about showing up when it matters, even when it's hard. It's about committing to the process, even when the results are invisible, even when nobody is applauding. Every single day you make the choice to act, you are either building momentum or eroding it. There is no neutral ground. When you are consistent, you are sending a message to yourself and to the universe that you are serious, that you are committed, that you are willing to do what it takes to achieve your goals. Look at the greatest achievers in history, the top performers in every field. You will find one thing in common. They are relentless in their consistency. They practice when others are resting. They work when others are procrastinating. They study when others are distracted. They do the things that most people avoid because they understand the power of compound results. They understand that greatness is not born in a single moment of brilliance, but is forged in thousands of small, consistent efforts repeated over time. Consistency builds trust, not just trust with the world, but trust with yourself. When you follow through day after day, you start to believe in your own capabilities. You start to know that you are someone who finishes what they start, someone who doesn't quit when the going gets tough, someone who can be relied upon to take action regardless of circumstances. That self-trust is priceless. It fuels confidence, resilience, and determination. It is the foundation for extraordinary performance. Without consistency, self-trust erodes, and with it, the ability to achieve anything meaningful. Consistency also creates habits. Habits are the invisible architecture of success. Every consistent action you take becomes automatic over time. You no longer have to summon immense willpower to act because your habits carry you forward. That is why the small actions you take today are so critical. They may seem insignificant, they may feel unimportant, but repeated consistently, they compound into results that are beyond what most people imagine. It's like planting seeds every day. One seed alone might not grow, but a garden planted with patience and consistency flourishes into abundance. But consistency is not easy. It requires discipline, focus, and sacrifice. It requires resisting temptation, overcoming excuses, and facing discomfort. It is easy to feel motivated when you are inspired, but the real challenge is taking action when your energy is low, when life is chaotic, when distractions are everywhere. That is where consistency proves its worth. Showing up under difficult conditions separates those who dream from those who achieve. It is not the actions taken when everything is easy that define your success. It is the actions taken when everything is hard that determine your destiny. Consistency also creates momentum. Momentum is like a snowball rolling down a hill. At first, it moves slowly, almost imperceptibly, but as it gathers speed, it becomes unstoppable. Every consistent action you take adds to that momentum. Every day you follow through, every task you complete, every step you take toward your goal adds to the force propelling you forward. And when you finally reach a tipping point, when your momentum is strong enough, results will accelerate and what once seemed impossible becomes inevitable. Consistency also builds credibility. In any area of life, business, relationships, personal growth, or health, people notice those who show up consistently. They recognize reliability, accountability, and dedication. When you are consistent, you become someone others can count on, someone who sets the standard and inspires those around them. Your consistent actions create a ripple effect that not only impacts your life, but influences the lives of everyone you touch. Consistency requires long-term thinking. It requires patience and the ability to delay gratification. In a world that glorifies instant results and overnight success, the consistent person sees beyond the noise. They understand that real, lasting achievement is a marathon, not a sprint. They are willing to invest in themselves to put in the work every day, even when the reward is not immediate, because they know that compounding actions over time lead to exponential growth. The truth is, you already have everything you need to be consistent. You already have the power to decide, the capacity to act, and the resilience to keep going. What you need is the commitment to show up, to do the work, to honor the process. It's not about being motivated every day. It's about being disciplined, about doing what is necessary, about taking action even when it's uncomfortable. Every time you choose consistency over convenience, you reinforce your own belief in your ability to succeed. Consistency also transforms mindset. It shifts your focus from seeking quick fixes to valuing progress, from chasing results to mastering the process. It teaches patience, resilience, and humility. It reminds you that greatness is built brick by brick, not in a single leap. And when you embrace consistency, when you make it a non-negotiable part of your life, you begin to see opportunity you never noticed before, solutions to problems that once seemed insurmountable, and potential within yourself that you never realized existed. Every successful person, every high achiever, every game changer in history has one thing in common. They made consistency a non-negotiable part of their life. They understood that talent, intelligence, and opportunity mean nothing without the persistent, disciplined, daily actions that build results over time. And the beauty of consistency is that it is available to everyone. It doesn't matter where you start, what your background is, or what challenges you face. Consistency levels the playing field because it is a choice, a decision, a commitment that you can make every single day. The question you must ask yourself is simply, are you willing to do what it takes every day, even when it's hard, even when it's inconvenient, even when nobody is watching? Are you willing to commit to the repetition, to the fundamentals, to the grind, knowing that every small, consistent step you take brings you closer to the life you desire? Because the truth is, success doesn't come to those who occasionally try. It comes to those who are relentless, to those who obey the process, to those who understand that consistency is not optional. It is the foundation upon which every achievement is built. Trusting the invisible work is one of the hardest things for human beings to do, and yet it is the most powerful secret to achieving extraordinary results. Everyone wants the reward, everyone wants the recognition, everyone wants to see immediate results, but the truth is, the most important work is often the work that nobody sees. It is the preparation, the study, the practice, the repetition, the sacrifices, and the choices made in silence that create the foundation for success. If you only focus on the visible outcomes, if you only chase applause and immediate validation, you will never reach your potential. Invisible work is the soil in which your results are planted. You water it consistently, You nurture it with effort, you protect it from distractions, and eventually, what seems hidden becomes undeniable. Invisible work is all about commitment to the process rather than the result. It is waking up early when no one else is awake, studying and learning when others are distracted, practicing your craft when no one is clapping. It is the countless hours spent honing skills, building discipline, and reinforcing habits that create the strength to carry out big visions. You cannot skip this stage. You cannot cheat this stage. It is the invisible work that prepares you to seize opportunities when they arise. Without it, even the greatest opportunities will slip through your fingers because you won't be ready to handle them. Think about athletes, musicians, writers, entrepreneurs, and leaders who have achieved excellence. What sets them apart is not just talent or luck. It is the invisible work they invested before the world even knew they existed. The hours they spent practicing when nobody was watching, the mistakes they made and learned from, the discipline they exercised when it was inconvenient, all of this invisible work accumulates into visible results. And here's the paradox: the more invisible work you do, the easier success seems when it arrives. The work that is hidden makes the visible achievements possible, and that is why trusting it is non-negotiable. Trusting invisible work also requires faith in the process. It requires understanding that progress is not always linear, that effort does not always produce immediate feedback, and that the fruits of labor are often delayed. Human nature craves instant gratification, but the universe rewards those who persist quietly, those who understand that mastery and success are earned over time. If you can commit to doing the work consistently without seeing immediate results, if you can believe that every action, no matter how small, is building towards something greater, then you have tapped into the power that separates ordinary people from extraordinary achievers. Invisible work is also about embracing repetition and discipline without relying on motivation. Motivation is fleeting, emotions fluctuate, and circumstances change. If you only act when you feel inspired, you will accomplish very little. Invisible work demands action in the absence of immediate reward, action when energy is low, action when distractions are pulling you away. It demands that you show up for yourself, even when nobody else notices. And each time you do, you reinforce the mindset, the skills, and the habits that will carry you forward when the results finally manifest. Trusting invisible work also requires patience and resilience. Many people give up too soon because they cannot see the results of their effort. They compare themselves to others who seem to achieve success quickly, and they fail to understand that visible results are just the tip of the iceberg. Underneath the surface lies months or years of invisible work that built the foundation. The key is to keep going, to keep putting in the effort, to keep investing in yourself and your craft, knowing that eventually what is hidden will become visible, and what seems like small progress will accumulate into something extraordinary. Invisible work also teaches humility and perspective. It reminds you that there are no shortcuts, no magic formulas, no instant solutions. Success is earned quietly, and the people who achieve it understand the value of preparation and persistence. They understand that visible success is temporary and fleeting without the invisible work to support it. Every great achievement is the product of countless unseen hours of effort, self-discipline, and commitment that most people never witness or appreciate. By trusting the invisible work, you align yourself with a deeper, more sustainable form of growth that cannot be shaken by temporary setbacks or external validation. Trusting invisible work also shifts your focus from outcome-based thinking to process-based action. When you are obsessed with results, you become frustrated by delays and setbacks. When you trust the invisible work, you focus on the quality and consistency of your actions. You invest in building skills, reinforcing habits, and improving daily without being distracted by immediate feedback. Over time, the accumulation of invisible work produces extraordinary outcomes, often exceeding what you originally imagined. Invisible work is also about preparation for opportunity. Success is rarely just about being in the right place at the right time. It is about being ready when the right moment comes. The invisible work you do prepares you to handle challenges, solve problems, and seize opportunities with confidence and competence. Without this preparation, even the best opportunities can pass by unnoticed or unutilized. The more invisible work you do, the more capable you become, and the easier it is to convert potential into achievement. Trusting invisible work also strengthens your character. It builds resilience, patience, and mental toughness. It teaches you to value effort over recognition, discipline over convenience, and progress over perfection. It cultivates a mindset that understands that long-term success is not measured by immediate gratification, but by sustained effort, unwavering commitment, and the courage to do what is necessary, even when it is difficult. The invisible work transforms not only your skills, but your mindset, your habits, and your identity. Finally, trusting invisible work is about believing in yourself and your ability to create results. It requires letting go of doubt and external validation and instead having faith in the value of your effort. Every small step, every unseen action, every moment of discipline contributes to a foundation that cannot be ignored. Success is built quietly, secretly, and invisibly long before it becomes apparent to anyone else. And those who understand this truth are the ones who ultimately achieve extraordinary results. Discipline trumps motivation every single time. Motivation is fleeting, unpredictable, and often unreliable. Some days you feel energized, inspired, unstoppable. Other days exhaustion, doubt, and distraction creep in, and suddenly what felt easy yesterday becomes a struggle today. Relying on motivation alone is like trying to drive a car using only the fuel you find on the road. It is inconsistent, it is temporary, and it will leave you stranded far short of your destination. Discipline, on the other hand, is the engine that keeps you moving regardless of circumstance, regardless of mood, regardless of whether you feel like it or not. Discipline is not dependent on how you feel in a given moment. It is a decision, a commitment, a standard you set for yourself that you refuse to compromise, and it is what separates those who achieve greatness from those who merely wish for it. Motivation may spark action, but discipline sustains it. Motivation is the fire that ignites the initial step, but without discipline, that fire quickly dies. Discipline is what ensures that you keep moving, keep taking action, and keep building momentum long after motivation has faded. Motivation is a visitor, discipline is a resident. Motivation is temporary, discipline is permanent. That is why champions, leaders, and high achievers don't wait to feel motivated. They build systems, routines, and habits that enforce discipline, ensuring that they make progress every single day, no matter what challenges or obstacles arise. Discipline is about commitment to your vision, even when excitement has waned and inspiration has left the building. It is about doing what needs to be done, even when it is uncomfortable, inconvenient, or difficult. It is about following through on your promises to yourself, showing up when no one is watching, and honoring the process even when the results are not immediate. Without discipline, potential remains unrealized, dreams remain fantasies, and talent goes to waste. Every extraordinary achievement in history was powered not by fleeting bursts of motivation, but by relentless discipline. Discipline trumps motivation because life is not fair and circumstances are rarely perfect. There will be days when you are tired, when you are stressed, when everything seems to be working against you. Motivation alone cannot carry you through those days, but discipline can. Discipline allows you to rise above temporary discomfort, to focus on long-term outcomes rather than short-term feelings, and to act in alignment with your goals even when external conditions are less than ideal. When you cultivate discipline, you create resilience, consistency, and the ability to achieve results no matter what life throws at you. Discipline is also about mastery over yourself. Motivation is external, often influenced by other people, circumstances, or temporary emotions. Discipline comes from within. It is the inner voice that says, I will do what I need to do no matter how I feel. It is the ability to control impulses, delay gratification, and stay focused on what truly matters. When you master discipline, you master your actions, your decisions, and ultimately your life. You no longer wait for motivation to appear. You become the source of your own momentum, your own drive, and your own progress. Discipline trumps motivation because it builds habits. Habits are the compound interest of personal development. Motivation may get you started, but discipline ensures repetition. It ensures that the small, daily actions that matter most are done consistently, regardless of mood or energy level. Discipline turns difficult actions into automatic routines, making success inevitable over time. Every successful person understands that motivation is unreliable, but discipline, once established as a habit, becomes unstoppable. The small, disciplined steps you take daily compound into extraordinary results, far exceeding what motivation alone could achieve. Discipline also shapes character. It teaches perseverance, responsibility, and integrity. It forces you to take ownership of your life and your outcomes. When you act out of discipline, you are no longer a victim of circumstances or emotions. You are a creator of results. Discipline transforms your mindset from reactive to proactive, from inconsistent to unwavering, from wishing for change to taking decisive action toward it. Every time you choose discipline over convenience, over procrastination, over excuses, you reinforce your ability to achieve anything you set your mind to. Discipline allows you to harness the power of delayed gratification. Motivation often tempts us with instant rewards, quick wins, and immediate pleasure, but discipline teaches us that lasting success requires patience and sacrifice. The ability to prioritize long-term benefits over short-term comfort is the hallmark of high achievers. Discipline ensures that you invest in your growth, your skills, your health, and your future consistently, even when the immediate rewards are not visible. It is the secret weapon that enables ordinary people to achieve extraordinary outcomes over time. Discipline also creates freedom. This may sound counterintuitive, but think about it carefully. The person who relies solely on motivation is enslaved to their feelings. They are at the mercy of external factors and internal moods. The disciplined person, however, is free from those chains. They have the power to act regardless of how they feel, the confidence to pursue their goals despite obstacles, and the consistency to create results that last. Discipline is the key that unlocks personal empowerment, independence, and the ability to shape your own destiny. Discipline is the backbone of every high performer's life. It is what separates those who achieve greatness from those who talk about it. It is what allows people to push past fear, doubt, and resistance. It is what enables them to do what others refuse to do. Motivation will give you bursts of energy, but discipline will carry you through the tough times, through the plateaus, through the moments when nothing seems to be happening. Discipline keeps you moving, keeps you accountable, and keeps you on the path toward your goals. Discipline also teaches consistency and reliability. When you act with discipline, you build trust, not just with others, but with yourself. You prove to yourself that you can count on yourself to follow through, to honor your commitments, and to stay focused on what matters. That self-trust is essential for achieving big results because it forms the foundation for confidence, courage, and resilience. Every act of discipline strengthens your belief that you are capable of achieving what you set out to do, and that belief becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. The truth is, discipline is not something you are born with. It is something you develop. It is a skill, a muscle, a habit that grows stronger the more you practice it. Every time you resist temptation, every time you follow through when you don't feel like it, every time you choose the long-term gain over short-term comfort, you are strengthening your discipline. And the more disciplined you become, the less you need motivation, the more reliable your results, and the faster you move toward the life you want. The people who achieve extraordinary success understand this principle deeply. They do not wait to feel inspired. They do not rely on fleeting emotions. They act with discipline. They follow routines. They show up every day. They honor their commitments, and they trust the process. Motivation may come and go, but discipline is constant. It is the foundation upon which all achievements are built, the engine that drives progress, and the force that enables ordinary people to accomplish extraordinary things. Embracing the grind is not optional if you want extraordinary results. The grind is where transformation happens. The grind is where ordinary people are separated from the extraordinary. Most people run from it. They avoid it. They complain about it. They look for shortcuts, hacks, or easy ways out. But the truth is, there are no shortcuts to mastery, no hacks to true success, no shortcuts to living a life that matters. The grind is the daily commitment, the repeated actions, the sweat, the effort, the perseverance that builds resilience, character, and results. The grind is the battlefield where your dreams are forged, where your limits are tested, and where you discover who you really are. When you embrace the grind, you stop fearing discomfort and start seeking growth. Discomfort is not your enemy. It is your signal that you are moving in the right direction. It is your body, mind, and soul telling you that transformation is happening. Every time you push through fatigue, doubt, frustration, or fear, you strengthen your mental toughness. You build the resilience to keep going when others quit, the focus to continue when distractions pull you away, and the confidence to face challenges head on. The grind teaches you that nothing worth having comes without effort, and that every obstacle is an opportunity to grow stronger, smarter, and more capable. Embracing the grind also means embracing consistency and discipline. The grind is not a one-time effort. It is a sustained commitment. It is showing up every day, even when you don't feel like it, even when the results are not immediately visible, even when nobody is watching. The grind is about honoring the process, respecting the fundamentals, and putting in the work regardless of circumstances. When you embrace the grind, you stop looking for motivation and start relying on discipline, knowing that it is your consistency that compounds into results. The grind is the engine that turns effort into achievement, sweat into skill, and struggle into mastery. The grind also teaches patience. The world wants instant results, instant gratification, and instant success, but the grind is a marathon, not a sprint. It requires understanding that progress is often invisible in the short term, but undeniable in the long term. The person who embraces the grind knows that every small step, every action repeated day after day is building momentum. They understand that results are not always immediate, that failure is part of the journey, and that perseverance in the face of difficulty is what separates those who succeed from those who only dream. Patience, coupled with relentless effort, is a hallmark of the grind. The grind also cultivates humility and self-awareness. When you embrace the grind, you acknowledge that you are not perfect, that growth requires effort, and that learning never stops. The grind forces you to confront your weaknesses, to identify your blind spots, and to work on yourself daily. It humbles you because it reminds you that talent alone is not enough, that intelligence alone is not enough, and that circumstances alone are not enough. Only consistent effort, repeated action, and dedication to improvement create mastery. The grind is a teacher that shows you both your potential and your limits, pushing you to expand beyond what you thought possible. Embracing the grind is also about embracing responsibility. The grind does not wait for conditions to be perfect. It does not wait for luck or opportunity to knock at your door. The grind demands that you take ownership of your life, your actions, and your results. It demands that you show up, do the work, and commit fully to your vision. The grind does not accept excuses. It does not negotiate. It rewards those who take initiative, persist through setbacks, and continuously invest in themselves. When you embrace the grind, you take control of your destiny and refuse to be a passive observer in your own life. The grind also builds mental toughness. Life will challenge you, test you, and push you to your limits. The grind prepares you for those moments. Every time you push through discomfort, fatigue, or doubt, you are strengthening the mental muscles that allow you to endure more, achieve more, and rise above challenges. Mental toughness is not innate, it is forged in the grind. Those who avoid the grind are often ill-prepared for adversity, while those who embrace it thrive under pressure and overcome obstacles that would stop others in their tracks. Embracing the grind also sharpens focus and clarity. When you commit to the daily effort, the repetitive practice, and the consistent pursuit of excellence, you start to see patterns, understand processes, and develop insight that others miss. The grind trains your mind to notice what matters, to ignore distractions, and to prioritize actions that produce results. It gives you clarity about your goals, your values, and your purpose. It allows you to make decisions from a place of experience and wisdom, rather than impulsive emotion or fleeting inspiration. The grind also produces a deep sense of accomplishment and satisfaction. Most people think that success is a destination, but those who embrace the grind know that success is a journey. It is found in the effort, the struggle, the daily commitment, and the continuous growth. Every day you show up and give your best, you build pride, confidence, and self-respect. The grind teaches you that the journey itself is the reward, that the struggle shapes your character, and that the effort you invest today becomes the foundation for tomorrow's victories. The grind is also a reminder that excellence is non-negotiable. Average effort produces average results. Exceptional outcomes require exceptional dedication. Those who embrace the grind set higher standards, push beyond mediocrity, and refuse to settle for less than their potential. They understand that every challenge, every difficult moment, and every repetitive action is an opportunity to improve, learn, and grow. By embracing the grind, they transform obstacles into stepping stones and adversity into advantage. Finally, embracing the grind builds resilience, courage, and a relentless work ethic. It trains you to keep going when others quit, to act when others hesitate, and to persist when circumstances seem impossible. The grind is not glamorous, it is not easy, it is not instantaneous, but it is the proven path to mastery, success, and fulfillment. When you embrace the grind, you align yourself with the fundamental principle that effort, persistence, and dedication are non-negotiable components of achievement. Patience meets persistence is the ultimate formula for achieving extraordinary results. Most people are impatient. They want instant results, instant success, instant recognition. They chase quick fixes, shortcuts, and easy wins. And when those things don't appear, they give up frustrated and disheartened. But the truth is, meaningful success, lasting change, and true mastery cannot be rushed. They require patience, the ability to endure, to wait, to trust the process, and to keep going even when progress is not immediately visible. They also require persistence, the relentless drive to continue acting, learning, and improving despite obstacles, failures, or setbacks. When patience and persistence are combined, they create a force so powerful that nothing can stand in your way. Patience teaches you to trust the timing of your life. Life does not follow a strict schedule, and the universe often operates on a timeline different from your own. Results often appear long after the effort is invested, and the journey is rarely linear. If you lack patience, you will abandon the process prematurely, missing the breakthroughs that were quietly forming. Patience is the ability to delay gratification, to withstand discomfort, to continue acting with faith in the unseen rewards. It is the calm assurance that every small, consistent step you take today is building toward a future that will eventually manifest. Persistence complements patience by turning intention into action. It is not enough to simply wait and hope that things will improve. Persistence is the repeated effort, the unwavering commitment, and the refusal to quit in the face of adversity. It is the ability to take action day after day, to rise every time you fall, and to keep moving forward even when obstacles seem insurmountable. Persistence ensures that your patience is not passive. It converts patience into momentum, effort into results, and potential into achievement. Without persistence, patience becomes stagnation, waiting without progress, faith without movement. The combination of patience and persistence teaches resilience. Life will challenge you, test you, and push you to your limits. There will be setbacks, failures, disappointments, and unexpected obstacles. Patience allows you to withstand these challenges without despair, while persistence equips you to take action despite them. Together, they create a mindset that can endure hardship, learn from mistakes, and keep advancing toward goals. Resilience built through patience and persistence ensures that no failure is permanent, no obstacle is insurmountable, and no dream is beyond reach. Patience meets persistence also develops discipline. Discipline is the bridge between goals and achievement, and it is strengthened when patience and persistence